Well, ATG Outdoors, you can see them outside. I got a bucket of corn right there, which is going right up there where you see that food block. See my camera on that stick right there. I got a ladder stand. Guess you could see it. It's right in that tree right there. It's not up very high. But what I want to talk about in this episode, and it's pretty cool, I got a buddy of mine that lives in Florida. His name is Josh. His channel, you got to check it out. He's on YouTube, is Navigate the Wild. And he's a saddle hunt son of a gun. He does have a climber. He used to hunt out of a climber, but he gravitated towards a saddle. And that's what I want to talk about in this episode. He's pro saddle. I'm pro climber. And real quick, I don't want to, why I'm pro climber and not hunting out of a saddle, I just kind of weighed things out. What I want, real quick before I even get into that, I was supposed to go to the ATA show that just ended here in Indianapolis. And I think last weekend. And a buddy of mine went. I was supposed to go, but, something came up and I couldn't go. A buddy of mine went and he said, let me tell you something. What was really talked about at this thing was saddle hunting. It's all because saddle hunting is something that's growing and in popularity. I mean, everything. A lot of people believe there's more pluses to it. So they're, like I said, they're gravitating towards that. I find more pluses to a climbing tree stand. And so, I weighed things out, and more minus to the saddle, more plus to the climber. My buddy Josh, more pluses to the saddle, less pluses for the climber. So like I said, and each one has their own pluses and minuses. What I like about a climber, once I'm up there, I'm done. I don't have to put stick, platform, lineman's rope. You know what I mean? There's all these things. And I know they're lighter. My climber, I hunt out of a steel climber. I paid $75 for it. I bought it from a gentleman here in Carrollton, Kentucky, northern Kentucky. I paid $75 for it. I see climbers, and the only one I will hunt out of with a climber is a Summit. I see these Summit stands all the time on Marketplace, anywhere from $100 to $200. Some of them are $100, $150, and I have two other ones. I got an MLB called the Major League Bow Hunter. What I like about that Summit, it doesn't have a rail in front of you. It's a hand climber, they call it. If you know anything about different climbers, there's hand climbers and sit and stand. The sit and stand's got a bar all the way around it. Obviously, you sit, you go up the tree like an inchworm. A hand climber, you use kind of your arms. You go up like an inchworm that has arms, I guess. And some people say they don't like, I like the hand climber one, because obviously I don't have a bar in front of me. And if there's a negative with a climber, you got to be careful. You got to be conscious of that bar around it, because you can hit it with the limb of your bow as you draw your bow and you're inside that rail. But I've been hunting out of one so long, and I practice so much that it's second nature that I'll lean up against it. I know when that bar is basically touching my leg, I'm outside of it. I have no problem. I fall asleep in a climber. I mean, I'm locked in. Some people say with the saddles, you're locked in from bottom, from the moment you get off the ground to the moment you touch. I'm the same way with my climber. I got my muddy harness on. I'm locked in from the moment I leave the ground to the moment I basically touch the ground. I get right to the bottom, I unhook it, and jump out. I'm a foot or two off the ground. So as far as safety, they both. Will my climber fail? Could it slip? Yes, but I'm locked in, and both top and bottom aren't going to slip, unless I do something really dumb. So I mean, and you got to be careful no matter what. I don't care which one you're in. I mean, there's a fault in every one, but I don't run into it. That's why I am a climbing hunting stand. I like them. The only thing I can tell you about a climber too that you got to be careful is if you get caught sitting down, because then you got to stand up to draw your bow. With a saddle, I'll give it a plus right there. You're already standing up. But what I did with my climbing tree stand, when it gets around that witch's hour where I know, where I want to start getting, because I hate standing up, sitting down because you're moving like crazy. I tighten the seat so tight. If you're familiar with a boat, it's like a leaning post. I just have to take the weight off my legs, and I'm basically standing up. And that's what I do. And I'm going to do it to all my stands this year. I'm going to maybe put another seat on it, sort of like a backrest. It's going to come down and be tight enough where it's flat straight across. If I'll post it. I'll show what I'm going to do. So that's going to take away from me having to stand all the way up and then draw my bow. A lot of you saddle hunters say I don't have a weak side. Well, yeah, you do. You got to move around to get to it. And same thing here. Yes, anything directly behind me I can't shoot. Where a saddle hunter, he can. So, like I said, check out Navigate the Wild. My buddy Josh, he'll give you all the pluses to a saddle. Because, like I said, he's not affiliated with nobody, so it's real easy for him to do. He could talk how he, freewheeling. And I'm not affiliated with nobody with my Summit stands, and I will talk more about that. So, again, ATG Outdoors, Bodies and Bows. Be safe. I'm getting ready for the NWTF, as you can see it right there. I went last year. Anybody here in the northern Kentucky area, southern Indiana, that wants to go to it, you're looking for company, or you're looking, maybe to hook up with somebody, shoot me a message. You never know. Like I said, I'm going to go. Me and a buddy of mine went last year, so we're kind of experienced. So, we know the ins and outs. So shoot me a message if you're interested in it. National Wild Turkey Federation, 2026. Let's have a good year. And post your pictures. Let me know how you did this previous year, 2025. And talk to you later. Like I always say, ATG Outdoors, Bodies and Bows. Just do it.